Once upon a time, there lived a golem master who created a lifeless doll. He was a caring man who created her with the purpose of making a golem with emotions. Her name was Orcus. They led a peaceful life, learning about basic human emotions. This stable life did not last long, as the king demanded the golem master use his golem army and Orcus to wage war. Enraged by such a demand, the golem master planned to kill the king with his golem army. Orcus stayed behind within the mansion as the golem master went out to enact his plan. That's when tragedy struck. The golem master was killed on the battlefield. This caused Orcus to cry endlessly for days on end. After many days, she set out to explore the world, as it was the golem master's final wish for her. Orcus brought with her a stuffed cat gifted to her by the golem master, and a doll which she named Lloyd. Lloyd was created to protect her in the battles ahead. And thus, they set out on a journey to explore the world and learn various things about humanity: love, hatred, sadness, and happiness. This was a story of my first legendary in Shadowverse. Can I get into the highest rank in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond using only one class? I wanted to give Worlds Beyond a try to similarly how I gave the original Shadowverse a try, climbing to the very top with my beloved Portal Craft. Before I get into my run, let me give you a bit of a background for where I actually started with Shadowverse. So, back in 2018, I actually got into a card game known as Vanguard. I discovered a channel known as Different Fight. Shout out to you, Chris. Awesome content. He had some other videos regarding a game called Shadowverse, so I looked into it, gave it a try, and fell in love. I started around the time of the set known as Brigade of the Sky, where I pulled my first legendary known as Puppet Girl Orcus. And I've been playing Portal through every set up until Heroes of Rembrandt, where I sort of just stopped playing the game altogether. I obviously gave other classes a try, but none of them scratched that same itch that Portalcraft did. And if there was a class that I was going to hit Masters with in Worlds Beyond, it had to be Portalcraft. There was nothing else that would scratch that same itch as artifacts and puppets. So, with that in mind, there are a couple issues here and there with the monetization of Worlds Beyond, but we can talk about that later. That's a future problem. But for now, let's begin with day one of the Climb to Master using only Portalcraft. To sort of get the ball rolling, I wanted to be able to re-roll on my account, so I was really prepared to just re-roll a bunch of times, sort of set myself up with some legendaries, but I didn't mention that I am in fact that guy. So I just simply rolled a Yudi and a Ralmia and immediately picked the artifact deck. Why didn't you pick the puppet deck, you fuck? You shut the hell up. But anyways, I crafted 3 copies of Orcus, so it is what it is. After crashing out over rolling an Albert ticket and fucking other dumbasses luck with Orcus, we finally hit ladder. So here's the list I started out with, and it's just your usual list, all the artifact support that you can run. I wasn't running cannon at the time, but we could talk more about that a bit later. And so I played into my first opponent, who also seemed to be experienced with the previous version of Shadowverse. So a big giveaway for this was, if you see these animated sleeves, you could tell that they've hit Grandmaster in the previous Shadowverse game for certain sets. You get this by linking your account with some other benefits like other wallpapers and whatnot. But Artifact was always a harder deck to play in the previous Shadowverse, but they streamlined it a lot more in Worlds Beyond, where it's more so just managing your hands, knowing which artifacts to fuse in which scenarios. And after a couple more crash outs...
Oh yeah, I still haven't pulled a ticket. Everybody else around me has pulled a ticket. I haven't.
Yeah, well, guess what? Mine was the wrong fucking one. Hang on, okay, we have to kill this guy. He has the Orcus leader. I have to kill this guy. One moment. We end the day on D3. Day 2 rolled around, and I forgot to include my first impression of the game, so here's past Mega Trick with the first impressions. Super Evo, cool mechanic. It does make some big bodies that really emphasize removal in your deck being sort of a mainstay, or like at least answers to really large status Super Evo. Other than that, like, it's fine mechanic. I think I just want more time on the game to actually figure out my overall thoughts, I should say. Another point is the UI. Like, it's very snappy. I really do like how responsive it is and how fast-paced it feels when compared to Shadowverse 1. One thing that has changed is the timer, actually. I found myself going to a rope a lot faster, but that's because the timer is shorter than Shadowverse 1, which is very hit or miss. I would appreciate the old timer That might just because I'm used to the old timer, but the new timer does mean that you have to play faster, which would reward more like skillful play, more like knowledge on your own deck. So that is something that I feel like will take some more getting used to. So during day 1 and a couple other days, I was streaming on Discord, sort of in a group call with some of my boys. My opponent's being cringe. What the fuck, kinda? That was good, Trey. You gonna start barking again?
Hello, gentlemen.
Did you know that if you lose a certain amount of games in early ranks, the game just effectively tells you to get good? My buddy Trey was just getting fucking bodied left and right in every game. And he got this pop-up from the game. Like, I can only assume this happens in the lower ranks because, like, slight spoilers for this video. I do go on a crazy lose streak later on. But anyways, we hit Diamond Group in B rank, so that's pretty cool. We hit trials for it, so you know, that's a very good way to cap off day 2. Day 3 rolled around, and this was the first day of the climb where I didn't actually stream my run, but here's a quick rundown. Artifact, it was starting to become a bit more iffy to play. I was going on a bit of a loss streak here and there, so I decided to swap over to Puppets just to give it a go, see how it felt. Just to sort of get a general feel of the meta and what each deck specializes in during this format. I D-ranked from Diamond to Ruby, but I did go from rank B0 to B2 to cap off day 3. Oh boy, here we go. Day 4. Day 4's... It was a Friday for day 4, but Fridays are typically quite heinous for me. I wake up at 4 AM to get to work, and I take a short nap, then I have to fuck off to Vanguard locals. Like, day 4 was not built for me to climb, but we persevered, hitting B3 to cap off the day. After day 4, which is kind of a lackluster day of climbing, we hit probably the worst day of climbing, honestly, day 5. So we hit Diamond Group again, swapping back and forth between Artifact and Portal, until I hit the dreaded Trials. I didn't mention this before, but when you go from one ladder rank to another, you enter a sort of trial area where you have to win 2 games out of a certain number. I believe from C to B, it was 2 out of 4, but the rest of them it's 2 out of 3 games that you have to win. Typically, this isn't really a big deal, you get through them pretty quick, but the game had other plans for me. I was stuck in this trial for 3 fucking hours. How is this possible, man? 3 hours? The worst part is I went on a crazy lose streak. I demoted down to Sapphire in Trials. Why are you able to demote in Trials? No way, bro.
Doesn't break.
I demoted? I'm not even
I
fucking
do.
climbing, bro. What do you mean? Anyways, with that aside, we ended day 5 at A1. But my god, why are you able to demote groups in Trials, man? Why was I there for 3 hours? Anyways, with that horrid day behind us, we entered day 6. Starting out my day demoting to Topaz, cause, you know, this game got hands, bro. It is what it is. But it was around this point in the climb where I sort of understood a bit more of the strengths and weaknesses of each archetype that Portal has. And my teammate Hibiki actually linked me to a hybrid list, sort of describing the benefits of both sides, combining it together. And I found a pretty good amount of success with it, ending the day with 20 ranked wins on Portal and ourselves in A2. And now we reached day 7, a week into the climb, so let's see how we did. For starters, I actually hit affiliate on Twitch, so I'd like to take a quick moment here to say thank you to everyone who tuned into my streams and sort of keep up with my content. It means a lot that people enjoy the stupid shit that I do online, so once again, thank you all very much. But anyways, I demoted to Ruby. That shit's cool. We ended the day on A3 playing just pure puppets though, so, you know, the climb's going fairly smoothly at this point, but not as quickly as before. Day 8. Now this is the best day of climbing so far. So, I didn't mention this earlier, but when you roll the gacha, you sort of get pack tickets, and after 350, you get to choose one of the tickets of your choice, because I'm not relying on that lucky chest. That shit's whack. I would rather just get the Orcus leader that I've always wanted. Little did I know, we fucking hit, bro. We fucking hit.
Why is it Lucky Justin 1? That's crazy.
I do single pulls, I don't give a fuck. Check this out. Boom, we're getting Orcus here, and then we're gonna get Lucky Chest Orcus again. Oh, it's legendary. I sleep. I don't give a fuck about anything. Please be Orcus. Please be... Okay, Medusa, I'm gonna fuck. Please be Orcus. Please be Orcus.
It's time. Orcus.
Whoa! Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go!
We did
Your
it!
fucking monkeys in my ear, man.
But we ended the day hitting AA0 with pure puppets. But this is where I really noticed the climb is gonna take a little longer. This is mostly due to the opponents being a lot better on ladder in the higher ranks. Or it's just, you know, classic skill issue. I'm just fucking bad. I never said I was good, man. I'm just fucking trash at this game, apparently. Day 9. This was my first day of streaming in a little bit since I hit affiliate. And I decided that for the entirety of the double A rank, I'll be climbing with only puppet because, well, Orcus is, you saw the fucking intro. Come on now, you know Orcus is my favorite. But you know, after the usual amount of whimsy, I am eating shit as we speak. But
I see.
I don't know, Rune just feels like this is a rough matchup. I think for puppets.
No, see, what you do is pretty much for that matchup, right? You summon your puppet, you activate Nature's Guidance to bounce back the puppet, and then you activate your Orcus, you Orcus Evo, flip it over to the other side, and then be able to swing for game.
I can't read my copy of my Evoed Orcus. It's in JP, dog. I can't read this shit. And even more crash outs. Oh yeah, sure, heal. Why does this class heal better than Haven does, man? That's what I'm most annoyed about. Like,
What do you mean, bro? Haven bros gotta pay 6 to heal 5, they pay 6 to heal 8. They're not the same.
it's so dumb, bro. Like, who allowed this? This is also where I spoke a bit more about the different archetypes for Portal, sort of going a bit more in depth about my thoughts and sort of their strengths and weaknesses.
Pure puppet is based.
I like it a lot more than the other versions of Portal at the moment. Like,
Then artifacts.
than Artifact and Hybrid. Like, it feels like the ceiling is just a bit higher. Like, you could do a lot more, like, post, like, turn 10, let's say. Which is good into
Now,
matchups
are you
like Haven
saying
and
this?
whatnot.
Are you saying this just because you have a puppet bias?
No, like genuinely, like, after... KB, I've been climbing with Portal for, like, how long now? Like, come on, man.
Since the game dropped?
Yeah, so, like, I've tested all the builds, like, this is the conclusion I've come to. Because, like, the hybrid build is nice, but, like, there's a lot of times you just draw, like, dead hands, and I'm just personally not a fan of that. Like, consistently... Shut the fuck up, Mash, I'm talking. But, like, consistently with the hybrid build, it's, I found myself being, like, 1 to 2 artifacts off from, like, making the 10 drop. Which is natural to think, because, like, you're running less artifact makers in general. But, the issue with the artifact build is that, like, post turn 10, you will struggle a lot more than, like, puppets will. And that's, like, what a lot of games can come down to, because, like, the format at the moment is just, like, hyper aggro or just, like, control decks, basically. And it's super obnoxious to play into. Anyways, Matt, you can speak now. Fuck you. But yeah, we ended the day in AA1 and demoted to fucking Topaz. Let's fucking go! Day 10 rolled around, and this was the usual early morning climb, the usual 6 AM climb for me, as I do. While talking to my partner in crime, Charlie, I deranked to Emerald. Yeah, no, this game gets fucking hard later on. Like, goddamn, bro. I was not kidding. All these mans on that climb, on these higher ranks, this early in the game's release, this shit got hands, bro. Like, goddamn. But yeah, anyways, that aside, we were just in call, and I'm just sitting here like, damn, bro. Every time Charlie and I sit in call, it's just fucking Ratatouille, man. He's the one chefing it up, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do this. Yeah, I'll listen to you, boss man. I got it. You got it. But yeah, anyways, we end the day at AA2 with a relatively peaceful climb, all things considered. So for this last push of the climb, day 11 to 14, I'm just gonna group them all together because they weren't super eventful, and I was also coming down with a bit of a fever at this time, so I couldn't really stream much of it. Which is also why this video is taking so damn long. I'm sorry. I hope this gets out before day 2. Day 2. Set 2. My bad. But yeah, day 11 started out with encountering a very familiar face on ladder. I recognize that team name. I recognize that name. What's up, Gian? How you doing? Anyways, this fucking guy was gonna only win that morning. It was fucking awful. Jesus Christ. But yeah, outside of that, and some other random ass clips here and there, we hit Master, which is supposed to be a big deal, but felt very uneventful given how there was nothing much I could do with this fever rolling around, so let's talk about how it all went. So let's talk about the post climb. 14 days, 452 ranked wins is what took me to Master in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. I'm going to spend the rest of the video talking about my overall experience with the game and how my climb overall went and how I felt about it. Let's get the negatives out the way first. The monetization. That's a big one that I feel like has to be brought up. For my climb, I wanted to get a bit of a head start, so I bought every single special bundle, I should say, on the Side Games web store because it was discounted, and I also bought the Battle Pass. We'll ignore the Battle Pass for now, since you do have to work through it to get all the rewards and whatnot. But all the bundles total up to around 8,800 crystals and a couple of legendary packs. This costed me 187 Canadian dollars, which is so-and-so in USD and like other currencies. This is expensive. This is very steep for what it is. 90 packs and a handful of legendaries it's a little steep, because that doesn't even guarantee that you'll build an actual deck. I personally got pretty lucky with my packs, getting multiple things that I could liquefy, which we'll get into in a bit, but I got lucky with my packs, sure. But this amount of money for what you get doesn't feel super worth it. But not everyone's going to whale. But what everyone will interact with is the crafting system. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This system update is dog shit. I fucking hate this system. Being only able to liquefy cards that you have more than a playset of is such a horrible change. It removes so much freedom that you would have in the original game, and also really hurts the onboarding experience. I have multiple friends that wanted to start out the game playing a certain craft, but they can't because their pulls didn't help them do that. Because their pulls are bad, you would expect them, oh hey, I could just liquefy the cards I don't want, craft the cards I do want. But no, you can't. Unfortunately, you can only liquefy shit, once again, if you have more than a playset. They don't want to whale as much as I did, which is totally valid. I only whaled because I love Shadowverse. But their reasoning for this, from what I recall, is that they want you to experience everything that Shadowverse has to offer. Why are we taking away freedoms? They can experience that in the practice mode. If they want to play a craft, let them play the craft. Let them disenchant, liquefy, whatever, just to get the cards they want and actually play, so they enjoy the game. Why are we removing options and forcing in new ones that really narrow down and just hone in on monetization? They just want more money. It just feels greedy at the end of the day. My only other real complaint is the climb itself. Well, two parts of it, really. Both the group system and the updated rank system. So, after I hit Master, I went back to the original Shadowverse to farm rupees, to sort of get the new leaders to sort of transfer over that stuff to Worlds Beyond, eventually. But here and there, Charlie would just ask, how many points do you have on ladder? How's your climb going? And that's when it actually hit me. In the original Shadowverse, my losses actually mattered. When I would lose points, I felt something. It was just damn, I don't think I should hit Master if I actually, don't lock in. My losses mean that I don't progress. In Worlds Beyond, even if you lose, you still gain rank points to go higher up in ranks. Why? During my Master run, it didn't feel impossible for even a second. It felt like an inevitability. I was going to hit Master. It was just depending on when. You can set up a bot to just pass turn continuously, lose every game. You will hit Master eventually, given enough time. Losing games in Worlds Beyond doesn't mean anything. Hitting Masters, ultimately, doesn't mean anything anymore. Because anyone could do it. Hitting Masters in the previous game felt special. Hitting Grandmaster felt even better, because now you're playing into players that have hit the very top, hit the very peak, and you succeeded into them. That actually meant something. All of these sleeves that I collected are evidence of that. I've climbed through these metas, climbed up the ladder, and I'm proud of it. But now it just feels really lackluster. You get a reward for participating effectively. Participate enough times, you'll hit Master. That's all it is. The group system is what effectively replaces this. But this doesn't feel like anything major. It just affects how quickly you climb, which is obviously important for a challenge like this. But the issue with the group system is just how vague it is. Like, you don't know when you're gonna promote or demote groups. It's just a matter of just like, here you go, congrats, you're in Ruby now. Why? Oh, you just lost enough games. How many games do I need to lose? I don't fucking know. How many games do I need to win to hit Sapphire? I also don't fucking know. Like, why don't we have a concrete number for this? It just doesn't make much sense. Those are my only two real complaints about the game so far, but that just means we can talk about positives now. So, God, this game's fucking beautiful to start with. Oh my god, they really knocked it out of the park with the live 2D of the leaders and whatnot. The cut-ins for when a match starts, that shit looks like a fighting game, and it's so fucking peak for that. Oh my god, the animations are smooth as hell. The gameplay is buttery smooth. I just want to do artifact combos on this fucking UI, man. It's so good. And a big thing that really hit me when I started playing on that first day, Shadowverse is back. Like, I've never been happier, because... Hang on, I have something for this. So for those of you who watched the intro, I've been playing the game for a bit. I've entered a lot of SVOs, a lot of Shadowverse weekends. Getting cool stuff like, I have a towel for Shadowverse weekend. Like, it's got all the class symbols on it, and I'm just like, small things like this really mean a lot, because like, it shows that my time with the game is just like, I've been here for a while. Like, I fucking love Shadowverse. Like, it's a game that I've really enjoyed and like made real connections with people, like in person and like online. It's a game that really means a lot to me, and seeing it come back with a lot of familiar faces throughout the game's history. Like, I obviously like seeing Orcus and Albert, like those guys you would expect to see because they're like sort of like the flagship sort of faces of the game. But like even other faces like Garyu, like who the fuck expected Garyu to return? But like I'm happy he's here. Like seeing characters like this back and seeing people like sort of experience these characters for the first time, it fills me with a sense of nostalgia, which is like it means a lot. It really does. So to cap off the video, I should be asking the question: would I recommend doing a challenge like this? No, just don't do it. Like honestly, I know that I climbed with arguably one of the best classes in the room. Like both artifact and puppets are very fucking strong for what they are. But if you have the resources, or you've already whaled, give other classes a try. Give everything a try. Shadowverse has a lot to offer, and I would always recommend that if you have the resources to do so, please give other classes a try. You'll probably find something that you'll like. If not, now you know that you don't like them. But in the future, when new sets roll out, you give them a try again. You've already have a good baseline of where to start with. Give other shit a try. And another reason why I did this run was I was always going to climb at Portal, regardless. If you've watched the video this far, you know how much I fucking love Portal Craft, but when they announced the changes to the Liquify system, saying that they wanted to make you experience every class, or like, just experience more of Shadowverse, I was just mad. Like, I was like, fuck you. Now I'm really just going to climb at Portal only, just to like, prove a point. I was going to do this anyways, because I just love Portal, but even with all the negatives with the game, I love Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Also, this video took way too fucking long to make. I had a fever for like a week after I hit Master, so I couldn't record shit. It's so long I had a fucking haircut, like, god fucking damn, man. Set 2 is like in 3 days, man. Like, what the fuck?